All right. Hello, everybody. This is the Dr. Simon's Metabolics and Weight Loss. Ask Me Anything Facebook Live event. I believe today is Monday, March the 6th.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Simons, and this is
Michelle, the nurse practitioner.
Yes.
Good morning,
The
everyone.
producer's always getting mad because I don't tell y'all who we are. Well, okay.
It's us.
That's us.
It's
yes.
still us.
I know.
We've done a lot of these.
That's
Wonder what our
exactly
count's
right.
up to.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is indeed. It is
It's
indeed.
gonna be a
But we are
lot,
so happy to be here. Both of our offices are open
Yes.
this week. Give us a call. I think we still have room in the schedule for anyone trying to get in. If you still haven't made that plunge after the holidays, it's never too late.
Yes,
It's never too
that's right.
late, right? March is right between, I guess, the holidays
Yeah.
and then the summer coming. So this is a really good time to give us a call and get in and see us.
That's correct. That's correct. Now today we're going to be giving away a $25 gift card
Yes, we are.
from Target.
Yep.
And
We got to do two things. We
That's
have you
right.
do two things in order to enter to win this gift card. If you're watching live right now, we need you to hashtag Simon's AMA in the comments section and like this video. So if you're
That's right.
watching, please do that, and then you'll be entered to win. And at the end of this show, we'll pick a winner. But of course, all these are recorded, so you can
Yeah.
always watch this and many others on our YouTube channel,
Yeah.
our Facebook.
you just go to simonsmetabolics.com.
and on our
And if you
website.
pan down on the page, you'll see me
They're
and
all
Michelle
down there.
there. And you can scroll through all the episodes, select the one you like. They're all recorded. They're all there.
Good morning,
Set.
Susie. Thank you. Susie's always on it.
Yes, she
Always
is.
on it.
Yes, she is.
100% chance right now to win, Susie.
That's right. Right now, you are in the lead.
You're in the lead.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so I guess we should start with the
Yeah.
questions here. Lexi from Durham is the first question we have, and her question is it better to eat small meals more regularly, or should I stick to eating 3 meals a day?
It's a common question.
Yes.
I think we've been told so many different things over the years. Everyone should eat this way to lose weight and be healthy. Everyone should eat this way and lose weight. The answer is, Lexi, it depends. It
That's
depends
correct.
what works for you.
Imagine that.
Isn't that
The fact
odd?
that treating the individual as not some blind mass of people like we're all the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
So
I've always found that eating 6 meals a day type things, I mean, who has time?
it is tedious.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
It is.
Right.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time out of your day. Now, there are definitely individuals, like, for example, individuals who have had restrictive, like, weight loss surgeries where their stomach is
This
now
is
a
a good
very,
point.
very small amount.
It's a really
They
good
can
point.
only eat very
Yeah.
small volumes of food. Or if you have some other gastro thing going on where you feel bloated, you feel really full very quickly, then you are going to have to spread your
Yeah.
meals out and do smaller ones. For the most part, though, I think I agree that the 6 time is not as common as a choice. Like, if you have the choice to eat less often and eat more substantial, we're usually going to encourage you to try that
Yeah.
and see how you feel.
That's right. And the other thing I'll say, Lexi, is there's a third option on here. It's not mentioned. And that is you don't have to eat
Fantastic.
3 times a day. You can eat once a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lion
Absolutely.
doesn't eat when he's not hungry, I always say.
Yeah.
And like if the lion wakes up and says, "Oh my God, I got to eat. I'm not hungry. I think I'll
Uh-huh.
just go hunt a cheetah. I mean, a antelope or whatever."
Yeah.
No, they just whenever they're hungry, they go out and hunt and eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very human specific thing to eat for any reason other than being hungry.
Yes, that's right. The food manufacturers like this.
Oh, of course.
yeah,
They make
yeah.
tons of money.
That's exactly right.
Of
Exactly.
course. They tell us you
Keep
need
eating.
your snacks.
Yeah.
You need to eat every 2 hours.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not true. And I think this is a good opportunity to bring up our take on protein, right? When we do encourage people to, eat their 3 meals or even their 1 meal or their 2 meals, eat, when you're hungry, we are going to advise to try to get 30 grams of protein, and that is animal-based protein. So we're talking
Yes.
meat, we're talking
Yeah.
seafood, we're talking eggs, and we're talking dairy products,
Yep.
and things like protein shakes and
Mhm.
protein bars, which are usually made of whey or casein, which are dairy-based.
That's right. Yeah.
And that is because 30 grams of protein
Mhm.
will kickstart this huge metabolic jump. This is like free calorie burn.
Mhm.
You will burn about 30 to 40% more calories for the following 3 to 4 hours. It's equivalent to running on a treadmill for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's called protein synthesis, and you trigger it by a specific amino acid that's one of the building blocks of protein. It has to reach a threshold level, which is consistently present in about 30 grams of animal source protein.
It's called leucine. And you
Yeah.
can't just take leucine by itself and make this happen.
Yeah.
It has to be in the context of all the
Yeah.
amino acids.
Yeah, because once the protein synthesis starts, you have to have all 20 of the amino acids present to kind of do the lean mass repair, which so just taking leucine by itself is not a quick fix. So.
Not a quick fix.
Yeah.
But this 30 grams of protein, Lexi, for instance, like if you try to eat 30 grams of protein with eggs, meat, and cheese in the morning, you are not going to be hungry for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
So eating 6 times in a day, getting 30 grams of
Yeah.
protein in any of those meals, you're just going to be too full for too long.
Yeah, right. This is correct.
Which is a good problem to have because then you
Yeah.
have to worry about prepping and buying food and
All that
eating
sort of
it and
thing.
all that thing. So yeah,
Yep.
focus on the protein. Looks like we got Annette in the running, Melinda as well. Thank you
Oh, good.
so much
Yeah.
for joining us this
Thanks
morning.
for joining in and
Yeah.
register to win the gift card.
Yeah,
This
if you
is
just joined.
That's right. Yeah.
Hashtag Simon's AMA, just
Yeah.
like these ladies did, and like the video.
That's right. So if you just joined, this is, in case you did not know, this is the Dr. Simon's Metabolics and Weight Loss Ask Me Anything Facebook Live event for Monday, March the 6th. This is Michelle Kennedy, and I'm Dr. Simons. And for those of you who might not know us, that's who we are.
Indeed.
So.
Indeed, and will continue to be.
Yes.
Shall we move on to Millie from Raleigh?
Okay, what are the best exercises for weight loss? Well, before we actually get into that, I just want to say that diet is the best thing for weight loss. And exercise is helpful. It is good for your health, and it can assist some with weight loss, but the main part of weight loss is your diet. Yeah.
Absolutely. Nutrition is huge. And it's not just calories in and calories out, it's the quality. So it's not just the quantity, it's the quality, what you are eating. Now, having said that, Millie, like Dr. Simons mentioned, exercise has tons of health benefits. You can be stronger. You can be more cardiovascularly fit. So good for your heart. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your sleep, right, and well-being. There are many reasons to exercise. Your bones are more dense, right, all that. But when we're focused on weight loss, I think a piece of advice I give to people a lot in our practice is I want you to exercise for all of those other reasons because
Correct.
it makes you feel good, because you're stronger, because you feel more capable. I do not want you thinking, well, if I walked 5 times this week, but I only walked once last week, I should lose more weight this week. That is setting us up for feeling like we are not doing enough, right? It feels like we're failing if we say, well, if I exercise more, I should lose more, because that's not what happens. That's not what happens at all. And we can feel very defeated if we say, but I'm exercising so much. Shouldn't I be losing so much weight? And I'm not. What's wrong with me? That's normal. You're not supposed to lose a ton of weight from exercise.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now, if you ask me, like, okay, what kind of exercise while I'm trying to lose weight would I do? I think there's some that can make you gain weight and really slow your weight loss. So I'm against, while you're trying to lose weight, really intense type of stuff for 2 reasons. Number one, a lot of my patients get injured doing it. Okay. And number 2, the stress response from it causes your adrenal glands to make a lot of cortisol, and this keeps you from losing weight, for example. So things like walking, I call this low to moderate intensity, cardiovascular exercise, tend to work a lot better when you're trying to lose weight. If you're going to do weightlifting, look, weightlifting is really good at preventing weight regain. It's a really good thing to do on the back end of the weight loss. Now, you can do it while you're trying to lose weight. I would just use lighter weight with higher repetitions and just focus on big muscle groups. I would say there's nothing wrong with building up your biceps, but your bicep is a small muscle. Your quadriceps, which are your legs, are big. And when you do squats, for example, and lunges, okay, that generates a lot of metabolic heat. Okay, and if you just use lighter weight on that, and do more repetitions, it has the effect of having the cardiovascular effect that I'm talking about that you get with walking. Okay, and I find that patients feel more toned, they don't bulk up, and it does help them some with their weight loss. So I like those kind of things.
I agree completely. And it doesn't even have to be with weights. You can do body
correct.
weight, just squats and
Absolutely.
lunges, and you could start with very moderate goals, right? When you brush your teeth in the morning, do
Yes.
5 squats. Start there. Just start there. This is
That's
not
right.
one of those things where you have to be sweating profusely
That's
in
right.
order to get benefit. You're just using those muscles in a way, especially the large muscles in our legs, using it in a way that they don't normally get used.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You just got to ease into it.
Yeah.
Ease into it. Don't get these preconceived notions that you have to do all the stuff like you're talking about. That's a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, just ease into it. Look, a lot of folks that come to me and that come to Michelle are overweight anyway, and that's another thing you got to consider is that that weight is going to be put on your joints.
Right.
This is another reason you want to ease into it. You get too aggressive and you get injured. Yeah,
Gotta
and
be careful.
that's correct.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
So
Yeah.
thank you, Millie. That's a great question. Looks like we got Avion in as well. It's a pretty name.
Okay,
I hope I
good.
said that right.
Yeah.
Pretty name.
It's a popular brand of tequila, if you follow that.
Oh,
I
is
hadn't
it?
had any in a long time, but it really is it's kind of a premium brand.
How do you pronounce that brand?
Avion,
Yeah,
Avion.
Avion. Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's
Avion.
I mean, it'll run you $60 for their for a bottle of their regular stuff, not the higher end stuff. So
I'll stick with water.
yeah, I know.
Which also has Evian, right?
Yeah.
Isn't the water?
We have an employee who's had a relative that was in the distribution business of spirits, and he used to drop this stuff off periodically, once or twice a year. And it's been a long time ago now, and so yeah, and so anyway, I became familiar with some of these things because although I really wasn't drinking a lot of that sort of thing, but he would tell me about it, and it was really kind of neat. I just didn't understand how much goes into making all of that. And
whole world.
yeah, that's right. I know. I know.
All right. Well, we're so glad you're here. Yeah. So moving on to Alena from Durham. Can meal replacement bars help me lose weight? How many meals can I use them for? So we got two questions here. I think meal replacements can be a great option.
Yeah.
I will say the shakes tend to be more preferred because you can get a lot more protein, a lot less sugar, and a lot less calories in a
correct.
shake.
Yes, you just hit the nail on the head. I don't think the bar is, I mean, yes, it gives you the physical sensation of chewing on something, right? But you can't get as much bang for your buck on the protein and on the calories.
And that's just because of how it feels, like the texture, the flavor. Really important with bars that they don't feel and taste like chalk or rubber, which if it was just pure protein, honestly, you probably wouldn't be able to eat it.
Yeah, that's correct.
So they have to mix all this other stuff in there to make it palatable, make it enjoyable, which is okay when you're using it maybe as a as a snack if you have a really long stretch between lunch and dinner, or as a dessert. That's what I really like protein bars for, honestly, because they're all flavor like dessert. Have you seen protein bars? It's like donut and chocolate cake and birthday this and chocolate peanut butter cup. I mean, they're kind of meant to be dessert. I haven't seen a nacho flavored
one yet. It's all sweet stuff.
They're so sweet. They're so sweet. So if you can learn to enjoy that as a treat, that would be preferred. And then instead using a protein shake, Alena. But that was a really great point that you brought up with chewing. Yeah. Chewing is a really important part that registers in our brain that we ate something.
Correct.
So a lot of folks, the idea of just drinking a shake for a meal isn't appealing. So what I say is, hey, if you still really like the idea of trying a shake, drink the shake, and on the side, have something that you chew. Have a little side salad, have a boiled egg, have a couple pieces of bacon or sausage or string cheese, a handful of nuts. There's a lot of things that can get that chewing that you feel like, okay, now I had a meal. Now I'm good.
That's right. That's an excellent point. But, Alena, as far as, meal replacements go, I mean, they're a good idea. I mean, it just takes a lot of other things out of the equation. So you can't, it's kind of hard to screw up a protein bar, I mean, it's just like, here's the bar, this is what I get, and so you're not forced to cook a meal, to figure out how much you're going to eat, all those sort of things. It kind of simplifies it for you. So from that standpoint, hey, I mean, right.
You may need a little bit more protein. So if you are going to try to shoot for the 30 grams, it's very hard to find a protein bar that has 30 grams in it.
Yeah.
So usually they have between 15 and 20 grams.
Yes.
So if you had them with, say, a Greek yogurt
I
or
was
with
just
some
gonna say
deli
that.
meat and cheese.
You know how like the ice cream varieties these days in the store, they had chunks of everything in there. I mean, I can't believe it. There's no plain ice cream anymore, right? It's ice cream with candy bars all chopped up in there. Well, chop up your protein bar and stir it in the Greek
That's a
yogurt,
great
right?
idea.
Yeah. You know, there you go. You hit your 30 grams. And I tell you, there's another trick you can do. Whey protein comes from milk. Whey is something that comes from milk. So it stirs right back into yogurt. So if you take some of that plain Greek yogurt, which is often kind of sour, and you stir in, say, some vanilla whey isolate, you know, it stirs right back in and makes a cake batter like mixture,
It's
and
like
it takes
pudding.
on, yeah, it takes on the flavor of the vanilla brand of vanilla protein that you have, and then you throw your bar, you sprinkle your bar in there, and boom, you're right in business.
Yeah, so that's actually my go-to breakfast. I'm sure patients have heard me talk about vanilla protein powder or strawberry protein powder or whatever mixed into plain Greek yogurt because it really doesn't take that much. So if you had to eat only Greek yogurt, you'd be eating like a cup and a half or so to get the protein. But when you mix extra protein in yogurt that has a ton of protein already, you can consume a very small volume so you don't feel very full. But it gets you all the protein you need. And then if you want to choose something, you can put some nuts in there, some seeds in there, or have some protein bar on the side.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it.
Good question, Alena. Looks like we have Melinda saying most shakes have made me feel bloated. Is it because of the type of protein included? Possibly. A lot of the shakes do have agents that give also it the right texture and can be kind of thickeners. Sometimes they're gums, like guar gum or something. So it could be that you're not tolerating that. I would definitely try the whey isolate protein that Dr. Simons was talking about and mix it with either water, unsweet almond milk, something that doesn't have a long ingredient list. So you know, is it the protein itself or is it something in those pre-made shakes that's causing you to
a lot of times, so it's kind of a complex subject, but a lot of times it's not lactose, it's casein. The casein is the protein that the type of cow that is predominant now on the globe in the last 150 to 200 years is a cow that's very hardy, but that makes a different kind of casein than the previous cow did that was common on the globe. And our cells are adapted to the previous casein. And when you get whey isolate, you see there's no casein in there. So there's a lot of people that tell me, they say, now, look, Wickham, they say, you know, I get the upset stomach or whatever when I eat and drink dairy products and so forth. And I just say, well, it may not be the lactose, you see. It may just be the casein. And in a lot of cases, that's what it is.
Yeah, and you may see in the market they have that A2 milk. This is exactly what he's describing. Some people, they can't tolerate traditional dairy, they can tolerate A2 milk. But something to consider, if you are going to make a protein shake, regular milk does have a lot of sugar, whether it's skim, whether it's 1%, whether it's 2%, whether it's whole milk. Lactose is a sugar, it's milk sugar. So even if you are not lactose intolerant, if you are mixing your protein powder with regular milk, you are getting a lot more sugar and carbohydrate than if you were to mix it with plain Greek yogurt, water, unsweet almond, cashew, coconut milks, and unsweet is important because even the original has sugar added. Or they have the higher protein Fairlife milk. That's kind of common. That's lower sugar, higher protein. Or something that I do water and a splash of heavy cream.
Yeah, that's right.
It's milky, it's yummy, it has a good mouthfeel, but it has no sugar, no sugar added at all.
Right.
Like if I had done it with regular milk.
That's right. It's milk fat. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Belinda, try a whey isolate, and if that still doesn't work, I would try to get your protein from. You could try like a plant-based. Vega is a decent brand. So for individuals who ethically or tolerability-wise cannot tolerate even a whey-based, you could try a plant-based, but you do have to be careful because with plants, the proteins in them are not complete proteins. That's why we talk about animal proteins and that 30 grams being important. So with the plant ones, you have to have multiple different plants together to make it complete.
Yeah, so if you just use pea or rice protein, for example, they're deficient on some of the amino acids. So if you mix several types of plants together, you get the full kind of complement. That's the idea. And so that's what you want to look for in those vegan protein powders. And
ideally, try whey first.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, should we go to Rachel from Chapel Hill? When I cut sugar from my diet, it's all I can think about and eventually end up binging on junk food. What can I do to help with that craving? You're not alone.
Why do you think we prescribe medicine, Rachel? That's just one of the big reasons right here.
Yeah.
It really helps.
Yeah, let's talk about sugar
Yes.
and where it works in the brain.
Yeah. So the one thing about this question is that is a short-lived thing. Okay. Yeah. So sugar works essentially on the heroin addiction center in your brain, right?
Opioid
So
receptors.
you have to think of opioid withdrawal, which lasts about 3 days, okay, 2 to 3 days, and then the craving then goes away. So when people go to a rehab, it's a very short inpatient rehab type thing for opioids, and then they transition to an outpatient thing where they just start hanging around people who aren't doing opioids, and they work on the behavioral piece, right? But as far as that initial withdrawal, it lasts, 48 to 72 hours.
It's a rough couple of
Yeah.
days.
That's right. So this is the way it is with sugar. When you've been, hoarding sugar all these years and throwing it back in all of its forms, right? Which is a lot of Americans do. Let's face it, it's a big part of our diet.
Definitely.
You try to go off of it, and people accuse you of being angry and hateful and
Yeah.
so forth. This is what's going on.
Your brain's
Yeah.
crying out
That's right.
for
Yeah. It wants more.
numbing,
Yeah.
essentially. That's what it's doing.
And if you have been here and we've given you medicine, that process is a whole lot better. And then after 3 or 4 days, the cravings dramatically decrease. And if you don't go back to it, those cravings continue just to kind of become a thing of the past.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not a big fan of people who say, look, I really crave it. Craving is the hallmark feature of addiction. You can't have a case of addiction without the symptom of craving. Okay, this is a principle of psychiatry. So if you say I crave sugar, then you're not the kind of person that I would say later, here, just have a little bit of sugar in moderation.
Right.
That's like saying to a person who was a heroin addict, have a little bit of heroin in moderation. Where's that going to take you? It's to more,
Yeah,
right? You're
out
going
of
to
it.
crave it more, right? So you really need to realize this is a dangerous substance for you, and it can lead down a road of a lot of bad things. And people say, well, does that mean the rest of my life I'm not going to be able to have sugar? And I just step back from that and say, now consider the historical relevance of what you are asking. We are the product of millions of years of human beings on this planet, and there was no refined sugar up until the last 100 years.
Yeah.
I mean, those poor people that came before us, how were they able to live without refined sugar?
Somehow they survived.
Yes, right. They did. So when you make this decision, I'm not going there because this is a problem substance for me. Okay. You're just aligning yourselves with 99% of the human beings who have ever been alive on this planet. The historical abnormality is eating refined sugar. And by the way, the results are coming in and they are not good. Okay. It is devastating to your health. Yeah. So a choice to get away from that is a choice. It's a choice for life and good health. That's what it is. And so I would commend you for making the choice. Revel in that. You will never, when you get rid of that stuff, you will never have to be hungry because true hunger, you can address that by eating real food, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rachel, I think there are definitely strategies to help with those first couple of days. I even have patients who will literally fly to a friend's place somewhere else, remove themselves from their environment and kind of detox from sugar somewhere else. You do have to make sure your environment is set up. You don't have people sabotaging you.
Yeah.
You have distractions. So you have things that are planned, right? The busier we are, the less we sit around having to white knuckle our way through something like
Stimulus avoidance, they call that. And it is a principle of the Alcoholics Anonymous 12-step program. Stimulus avoidance. If I have a problem with alcohol and I'm getting over the alcohol, I don't need to be surrounding myself with a bunch of booze, right? That's what Michelle's saying. And it's true. I don't need to be going to bars. I don't need to be hanging around the ABC store. And I don't need to have it in my house.
So remove the
Yeah.
offender, have
Yeah.
healthy, high protein filling options in its place,
Correct.
have things to distract you, or keep yourself busy, and you know the same type of behaviors that kind of light up our brain in a way that's excitatory and feels good, but which we can get from sugar and drugs, we can also get from things like exercise, laughing, physical touch, dancing. So sometimes it is really important to replace the high that you get from
Yeah.
food or sugar with something that is actually a health promoting behavior. And there are books out there all about this too. And we can help you too, Rachel. So if you are struggling, give us a call. We can help you with tips and support and medication.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Will from Apex says, as experts in the field, what are your best weight loss tips? Well, I'm going to do a whole show on this.
I know.
Really.
We could do multiple shows on this.
Yeah, I agree with that.
By the way,
Yeah.
thank you, Diana. Welcome. I can
Yeah.
see you're in here now too. I would say mine are, if you're not hungry, don't eat. And when you are satisfied, not even full, when you are satisfied, stop.
Yeah, that's right.
It is a difficult concept when you have not grown up learning to even know when you're hungry or know when you're satisfied. And it takes time to learn, and medications help so much.
Yeah, that's it. And that's really where I was going, is that, look, I think all of us know you can't get a different result doing the same thing. So eating a bunch of bad stuff, if that's what you've been doing, you got to commit to a change, right? The problem is that's sometimes really hard to do.
Yeah.
And in 19 years of doing this now, okay, of practicing this kind of medicine, I will tell you that medicine is a game changer. You take a nutrition plan, some plan to be more physically active, you've got some behavioral change in there, you add medicine to lose weight to that, and you will get a much better result. And you put several of those medicines together, what we call combination drug therapy, you get an even bigger result. And I just can't stress that enough. Michelle is right about that. The ability to know what to do, a lot of us have, but to do it is the hard part. And medicine is a big game changer in this regard.
Yeah, so accepting help, there's a big weight
That's right.
loss tip, right?
Yeah.
Know that it's okay. You don't have to do it on your own, and there are people to help like us.
That's right. That's correct. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and look, you want us not just to maybe give you some, prescribe to you some medicine to help you, but we want to look at any medicines you're on to make sure you're not on some medicines that are actually causing you to gain weight
Yeah,
or slowing your weight loss.
absolutely.
Those are out there, and they're used for a lot of common things, and we like to look at that when patients are on them to see if there's something there that can be changed.
That's a great point. It's
Yes.
part of our initial metabolic assessment when you're a
Yes.
new patient. Diana is asking, what would cause sweet cravings at night? I am fine all day. Night is the problem.
Mhm.
Lily chocolate sometimes gets boring. Lily chocolate is a really good choice, right? That is a sugar-free chocolate that you can get in like specialty stores and online. I think a lot of people struggle with the same thing. I think
Yes.
as the day goes on, we run out of our energy. Sometimes we run out of that willpower that we wake up with, and sometimes our fatigue can lead us to that. I say probably the most common thing that I find, it's habit.
Mhm.
Our brains associate with our wind down routine having something sweet, having some chocolate, and that's where that change the behavior. Go for a walk after dinner instead of sit down in the same chair where you're usually going to have the sugar or something
Yeah.
like that. That's usually
Yeah.
what I.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of that is kind of programmed in there.
Mhm.
And
It's
if
like
you
we're
change,
hardwired.
that's right. You just got to change it up. And the other thing is, we have a medicine we prescribe people here called topiramate. And topiramate helps with these sort of cravings. And a lot of times I have patients take it around supper time
Mhm.
because it won't interfere with your sleep. And it really helps with this in the evening. If you haven't tried that,
Some people sleep better with it.
Yeah.
In fact.
that's right. You'd want to talk to us about that because it's inexpensive, cheap. It's been around a long time. It's generally very safe. And we could try a trial of that and see how that worked for you. There's very few contraindications, and we could go over that with you. You just need to make an appointment to come in and see us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us a call, Dan. We can have some other strategies we can talk about as well.
All right.
We are.
Right. We're right there. I'm going to take this last
Okay.
one. I'll summarize it real quick.
Got one more
Uh,
question.
Allison from Clayton says, I've been hearing about erythritol that is linked to stroke and heart attacks. Should I stop using it? No, it's okay. The methodology of this, there's like a lot of studies. I'm going to tell you 99% of them in the medical literature are complete rubbish. They're intellectual rubbish. It gets people's names out there in the academic community, but they really don't mean a whole lot. This one, the way it was done, the methodology doesn't mean a whole lot. And it's erythritol is like anything. If you want to go consume 4 pounds of it a day, I'm sure it'll cause you a problem, but a small amount of it is not going to cause you a problem. So I wouldn't worry about it. That's my summary. So the winner of the gift card.
It's Avion.
Yes.
Thank you,
Avion.
everyone, so much who entered.
Oh.
This is a great show. Avion, we will message you in Facebook to get you that gift card. So look out for a message. Please share this link, right? Join us in 2 weeks.
That's it.
Check out our website.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks, everybody. Daylight savings time is coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Enjoy the extra sunlight, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay.
Bye, everyone.